All right, hello everybody, and happy Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. We are in week 8. This is VR Master League. I'm Palidore. Thanks for joining us this afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Thanks for being here. Got ourselves a matchup between Fusion and Vibers. This will be the third time this season that they've met. The first 2 victories going to Vibers here. So, they last met over on March 5th. Before that, they had faced off on the 25th of February. Their teams have changed a bit since these first ones. So, since the beginning of March, you have Fusion getting Galti here back. You have Vibers getting Finn into the mix. So, kind of different situations. And both teams honestly been getting better and steadily improving week by week. So the question is, can Vibers just maintain what they've been doing here? They had a match against Phantoms even a couple weeks ago, or just last week in fact, and it was actually only a 9-point game. Despite the loss to the Phantoms, who are still the sole undefeated team over in Europe at the moment. I mean, they're getting steadily better. Meanwhile, for Fusion, they're coming off 2 wins. Just last week, they went 2-0 on the week. So feeling good, no doubt. And feeling in a good rhythm as of late. So we'll see what these 2 teams are able to do and what gives. But I'm happy to see this one. It's going to be Vibers coming in with that 6-3, or 6-8, sorry, record. But again, getting more wins as of late. Fusion. Same with them. Slower start to the season, but they've got their 3 wins now. And going 3-12. But again, 2 of their wins just coming last week. So starting to get better. Much better, in fact. And those passing plays going through. Swift. Gotta mention him because he has been, as of the last week or 2, pretty much on fire offensively. You have just so many shots. Whether 3 points, 2 points. He's been really pulling ahead here for his team on the offensive end, doing a lot of great work. Of course, his teammates assisting him on a lot of these. Alakos as well, doing the work that he does in the goal, along with Frogio. Frogio, another one of those additions midway through this season. So again, kind of different rosters, a variation of rosters for both of these teams. And so kind of interesting to see the different array of players coming in. Just how they play out. I know sometimes, a lot of the time when you do add those new players, there always is an adjustment period. Same applies for Vibers, really. Finn, obviously a super experienced player since 2017, a very talented one. But even then, anytime you add some new players, more often than not, it'll be a little bit of an adjustment. And in that first match for Vibers, they had gone against Jesters, I do believe, on the 3rd of March. and Vibers weren't able to win that one. In fact, it was kind of a landslide victory to the Jesters at the time. But since that match, Vibers coming through. They came through with a couple wins in a row, 3 wins in a row, in fact, versus Fusion, Alpha Ducks, and Paradox. They dropped a fairly close one, all things considered, to Phantoms, and then another close one against Smash Dash last week. Now that Smash Dash match, that's almost a tongue twister. That Smash Dash match was pretty fun to watch, very entertaining, in fact. Went to 3 rounds. You had kind of these comeback situations from Smash in towards the end of round 2, and then in round 3, just kind of building upon that. But Vibers were looking very strong, especially in the first 15 to 18 minutes of that game. Smash Dash was heavily favored, just the same way that Phantoms obviously heavily favored in their matchups. And you had Vibers in both of them last week. Really competed admirably, and continue to build their name. So I'm actually seeing now in the league chat over in Discord, looks like Alakos and Fusion may need themselves a late substitute here. They did have all 8 players in the match, but Galti had crashed out. I think PC issues as much as anything. It seems like this was actually an issue for Galti last week as well. Maybe even the week before. I'm not sure. I think they're more so PC-related issues than Rift, from what I understand. I could be wrong. So that's a bit unfortunate for Fusion and for Galti. I guess better having this occur before the match starts than in the middle of it, but either or. Obviously not the most ideal situation. So if there are any subs available, especially over in Europe, I mean, you might be needed. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for these teams to get full again, I can bring up some of the web pages for you. See Vibers there. There's their 1170 record. You can see their roster sitting currently with Emil, Ares, BK, Finn, and Pyromane. And you can kind of see over the weeks how that's unfolded for them, record-wise and wins and losses. Started off their first week with a couple losses, but again, over the course of the season, especially with the roster changes, have begun building more of a name for themselves. And you can see just in the last, maybe 4 to 6 matches, essentially, maybe 5 matches now. You can see the progression of Vibers score-wise, how they're competing against all these different teams from top to bottom. Definite improvement there. Now pulling up as well the Fusion page. And you'll see they're running with this roster here, 4-man currently. Alakos, Frogio, Galti, and Swift. They've had a lot of different members here for Fusion. They've been a team since the pre-season, a couple months back. Like their logo, very cool. But yeah, you can see all their ex-members listed there. They've had a rotation of people coming in and going and coming back again. So it's definitely been a lot of experimenting for Fusion. But as I said, trying to find their foothold as of late. Strong week last week and looking to continue it now. Going into the preseason, they were one of, granted, again, mostly different roster. I think as far as consistent players for Fusion, Alakos and Swift, they're the 2 remaining original or mostly original members. Again, maybe my mind is playing tricks on me a little bit, but yeah, Frogio and Galti. I know Galti was kind of in and out. Frogio was more of a recent addition, but Alakos and Swift were definitely both there in the preseason. And they've just been, again, steadily getting better and better. Swift really showing himself to be a great offensive player. Alakos showing himself to be a great team player, a great goalkeeper. So, for Frogio, I know he's very capable in the goal as well. Galti, when he doesn't have his PC issues, very good player. but still kind of trying to learn more about Frogio and Galti over the course of this first season, seeing what they can do. So, interestingly, watching here the chat in the Discord, and it looks like David Duel may be coming to substitute. Interesting story, just because, well, David Duel was on Fusion as of a week ago. Now, he had left for one reason or the other. I won't dare to speculate or anything, but just interesting to see. Yeah, it was on Fusion pretty recently, not anymore, but he may be subbing here, so kind of a maybe unexpected return party, potentially. Not guaranteed yet, but still. There's a story there, I suppose. Late Toast in the chat saying Frogio is a gamer. Well, aren't we all? But yeah, Frogio joining Fusion just a few weeks ago. Actually, just occurred to me, and shame on me for forgetting, because Frogio his former team was actually the Vibers. So I talked about Finn coming in here as a fourth player. Well, for Vibers, well, yeah, she was kind of filling in the roster slot that Frogio once occupied. So somehow I forgot that, but thanks for reminding me over in the chat, basically. So there you go, yeah. Got a lot of interesting stories in here. Maybe a former member for Fusion returning to Fusion, and a former player for Vibers being on Fusion. Quite the interesting Echo love triangle, I guess. Also see Oculalan in there. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tony. And Sweet Tooth, as well as Original VR. So some of those players on some of the newer teams there, between Oculalan in Europe, and you have Original over in North America. Good to see them tuning in here. Good to see them all playing. I said late toast, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Latte toast. How's it going? So still awaiting these members. I can switch you over to the gameplay screen just so you can get a look at it yourself and not have to trust my words. But yeah, still waiting. Scheduled start time was technically 16 minutes ago, so it's again one of those borderline things. Because 15 minutes is technically the limit where, you know, teams, if they want, they can start enforcing the whole delay rules. Because by the rules, the first round would either have to be played after the 15 minutes, either forfeit or played 3v4. But again, we kind of, you know, if teams can come upon those gentleman agreements of sorts, like if they don't want to press it, I can't and won't press it anyways for my position. But from what it sounds like, Fusion does have their player joining imminently, so we'll be getting ready to go very soon. This is our only European match by the by for the day, unless anything changes within the next, you know, several minutes or within the hour. But unless things do change, that is the only European match for the day. We do have some North American games later on today, starting at 8 p.m. Central Time, which is not for another 5.5 hours. We have Instinct versus Flare on the North American side. That will be a fun game. Flare has been unbelievably hot. I think a lot of the European community probably caught that match the other day because it was early on Sunday in the afternoon for North America, so during the wakeful hours for the Europeans. But that was a stellar match between Flare and Kangarillas, and Flare has just been really, really hot. Pun intended, I suppose. But yeah, they've been absolutely huge these last several weeks, and for them, a player by the name of Game. And Game has been a veteran since 2017, but he's been quite possibly one of the MVPs across the whole league, I would say, in the last 3 or 4 weeks or so. Just putting on stellar numbers against really, really strong teams. I mean, really helping Flair, complete, at the time, upsets against the likes of the preseason champion Illuminati. Against Kangarillas, handed them their first defeat a few weeks ago. And then just competing, again, at that high, very, very high level. Got a game against Infinite too, and they took Kangos to the third round, last second in 2 games in a row. It's been fun. And now, people over there in the Twitch chat, speaking French, as Frogio and Swift tune in and get some camera time. Hello. Why don't you do a dance or something? Putting you on the spot. Yeah, Frogio and Swift just waiting to impress, doing some fist pumps, fist bumps, waving, and almost uncomfortably close to each other. Hello, Swift. How's it going? Do you have a question, sir? Sorry, Palidore. I love you. It's okay. Love you too.
So stop sucking after Palidore.
Ah! No! Mute! Mute!
That's my flavor.
I'm just gonna let that sit right there as I take a drink. 1 second. Oh, look. David Duel joined. Okay, we're almost ready to start, so I definitely better get hydrated, I suppose, yeah? Yeah.
Orange team
Let's go, boys. Good luck.
Okay, so, sorry for that delay, folks, but we are ready to start. How about that? So, will be, in fact, David Duel hopping in here for Fusion, making his grand return. So, definite props to him, and thanks to him for hopping in here at a moment's notice for his team, well, his former team, but now his current team for at least the afternoon. So, Aries gets the disc first for Vibers, backing it out to Finn. Finn, again, the player here who kind of took the slot of Frogio of sorts. Frogio going over to Fusion towards the beginning of March, and Finn joining Vibers around the same time. And we'll just sit here very patiently, waiting for the defense to be dragged out. Oh, almost a good pass there, but it's cut off by Alikos quite nicely. And off to the other side they go. So, a Swift over there on the side of the wall will have a meal in the goal, but getting pounced on by a multitude of Vibers. So Vibers going for a clear, do get it down the center, and the boost as well. Retained by Aries. They already have one in goal, so going to Bowtie. It's Finn. Another Swift pass. Not too swift, but to BK it was. But Alikos, again, will actually dive out and take it away, but couldn't get the clear that time. And Aries now taking the disc, ducking on through. Good stun by Emil. Now Finn going, or BK going up high, and finds the way into the goal. So after a little over a minute of play, there's the first 2 points for Vibers here in round 1.
11, 10, 9, 8.
So yeah, here we go, says Oculalen, and Sweet Tooth ready to start. High Tony favoring Vibers in this one. Sweet Tooth just favoring an Echo game to watch. That's about it. And that's just enough for me as well, as a BK goes for a play. That's right into the goal off the backboard. Great shot from BK. And that is, again, 2 in a row for Vibers and 2 in a row for BK, with all 5 points for his team. Nice shot. So Fusion preparing to roll out, seeing if they can evade some of this defense here. That quick pass going to be contested by a stack. Trying to contest the disc, but they do get split up now. That pass down to David Duel is missed, but Frogio is there to clean up a little bit. A nice bounce pass gets over to Swift, but Swift having it knocked loose by BK. So BK right now off to a pretty good start himself, all over the floor. There he is again, getting stunned this time, and getting the steal. So BK, watch out. He's feeling some sort of rhythm right now because he's looking really good. He's, well, vibing. So David Duel takes that one. That's going to be a deep shot. Just off. Might get his own rebound. Looks like that will be the case. Being Dova Ponzo just takes a quick rebounded clear. It's actually Frogio there, but then Alikos over on Fusion takes it here. So approaching from that right side, the right corner of the bubble, looking for that deep pass. Cut off nicely by Aries, and Aries gets a clear. So off to the other side. Ooh, that was I don't know what's happening there, but Finn is all over the floor with the teleport. And, yeah, whatever happened, happened. I'm not going to question it. For that matter, it could just be on my side, spectators' end. That happens occasionally, so I'm not even sure if that actually played out as it did or not. I'm not going to make any guesses. I'll just say for now, Finn is a magician. But until then, Alikos in this battle here, getting it to Swift. Okay, there's another one. So again, might be me, folks. Might be me. I'm not sure. But Mia will take that disc away, but Alikos saving the play. But right back to Ares. Gets stunned. Alikos another clear, trying to get that up to David. David swinging around, just trying to evade and find the pass. Does get it through, but a quick stun will force that pass, the clear to go through. That shot attempt maybe, and just will wind up back in the hands of Ares. But now a nice grab from David. Dula can't make the shot, but rebound will be had by Swift. Took a few minutes, but we finally got a goal here for Fusion. Mentioned Swift, he's been having a very hot streak as of late on offense, getting a lot of points and leading the way in, just in point totals for his team a lot of the time. So it's good. A job from Swift there, and this, yes, indeed, something is going very, very wrong, and the player's calling for a restart. Interesting. Because this didn't happen until we actually started the match, it seemed. I didn't see any jitteriness before then, so I'm hoping, I don't know, not sure what it was, but something obviously going a little bit wrong. So I don't know, on that note, might not be a spectator's thing. And obviously, I mean, the players obviously see it, that's why they restarted. Because I was going to say, though, usually if there are lag issues or something with ping, you're going to see that before the match actually starts, which I wasn't paying heavy attention, but it didn't seem like we had a lot of lag or any jitteriness before. It only started in the last couple minutes around that Finn play. And Finn actually does dip out here, it looks like, so maybe she's restarting. Don't know if, you know, that's a contributing factor at all, but either way, we do get a restart. So again, apologies for the tech delays and the sub delays.
Can't take away points now. When you request restart, it's at the end of a round.
So
Yeah.
we got, well, let's see. I'm being asked on the time. Let me try and attempt to find it. Can't be sure, though. So I have one moment. I'm trying to look up the proper time and score from the players because they didn't take it down, and neither did I. So I'm going to go through the VOD real quick, and let's see if I can find it. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, it was 8.
It should be 4.
Scratch that. 8-4 for Vibers. It was scored at 5:32. Yeah, so just typing that out to the players there in the Discord. And yeah, still waiting the return of Finn. Hoping to get this solved rather quickly. Now it seems like, again, maybe I have to pay better attention here, but I haven't noticed any jitteriness since the restart. Have you guys on the stream? Again, I'm not paying much attention, but it seems like we had that minute long of just kind of awkward interactions, and then since Finn left, I haven't seen any of those jitters yet from these players, so I don't know. I wasn't under the impression that server issues could be caused by a single player necessarily.
Instead of 5 minutes.
But, I mean, yeah. So far, so good, it looks like. Not seeing any weirdness. Except the Twitch chat. You guys are weird. Just kidding. Love you guys. Almost as much as Swift loves me.
Orange team ready.
Okay, so 5:32, 8-4. Still round 1. Vibers were getting into a rather good groove there. Fusion was coming back, though. Partly predicated off that last goal. That was a little bit of a janky interaction, but that aside. You know, as I said, Fusion's passing plays has been very good. Swift's been great offensively, and then defensively, I mean, Fusion's always been pretty decent at that, just with guarding their bubble. But sometimes struggling with just the offense or like the passing or getting the clears through. But that's kind of the thing that's improved a whole lot as of late. So it's good to see that improvement. And then Vibers as well, just finding their stride here. I didn't say you were weird, Late Toast. I just said the chat. I left it broad. That way I had plausible deniability. Hi, Tony. He says he's weird. I agree. I don't know. Hi, Tony, as in the Tony from Mirage, or different Tony?
Hi, Palidore.
Hi, whoever said that in the chat, in the open comms, that is. Yeah, so Mirage Tony. Well, there you go. So for Bears mentioning, I'll put him on the spot, but in a good way. Mirage did make their debut yesterday. First match, a team new to competitive play here in Echo Arena. Full of names that just, you know, I personally didn't recognize. But then again, I haven't played pubs in a very long time, or even privates for that matter. But the thing is about Mirage, they came out with a very successful first win against 18 and under, and we're looking super impressive. Talk about high-scoring players. Hi, Tony had a lot of great scores, including an overtime win in first round. So another one of those new teams. We have a lot of them as of late, and Mirage, a new one that impressed yesterday. So definitely pay attention to them, because it's one of those cases. It reminds me, there's been a few teams like this. I think of teams like Orbit, teams like Spaghetti. There's several others, but basically teams who otherwise hadn't played as a team before in VRML, and yet they come out in the first week or two looking as if they've been playing a lot longer than they have been competitively. That was kind of the case with Mirage, I got the feeling. A lot of good coordinated team play, passing, things like that. So it's really wild to see that, considering how once upon a time in Echo Arena,
12, 11, 10.
Passing was exceedingly rare. It took a while because, you know, at first there were no established rules and metas, and you know, in 2017, 2018, it was just a matter of teams figuring that out. And it took a good while. I'd say a solid year, maybe even longer, before you really started seeing teams beyond the top, you know, 2 or 3. Going in for it, 2 there is BK. Alakos couldn't quite get the save, unfortunately. So he'll get credit for the goal, but it was BK shooting that one. But yeah, it took a long time back in the day before teams really started developing that team play and those metas. These days, now you just have teams coming in. There's so many resources and so much of a broader player base. Again, compared to just 1 year ago, I mean, we have, I think, more than double the competitive player base at the moment on teams and in the league subs. So between the expanded player base and just all the resources available, the fact that all these matches are streamed, you're really seeing even new teams come into the league these days and are just immediately looking dramatically better than you would ever see new teams back in you know, the last couple of years. So good to see. But on a tangent now, because the game has restarted here, so I'll continue on. This is the first round still. We had some delays, so apologies for that, but we're back in the game. Finn's back. Vibers are up here with a 10 points to 4. Maybe going for the advantage again to push it up some more. Oh, knocked off the head, though. Gotta hate when that happens on your own team, knocking it off a teammate's head. So good. Dump back into the mid line. Couldn't quite get the clear there, so Ares does try and collect that and get it back to his team. It will be Finn taking that one with a nice pass to Barrier, and then the carrier BK. And I say carrier because, man, he has just been all over the floor even after that tech delay. BK is just, he's getting seemingly all these goals. A lot of the mid lane play causing steals, turnovers. I mean, BK's name's been all over this for Vibers at the moment. All right, so Alakos taking that away and going to David Duel. Late Toast saying F for 18 and under. Oh, so yeah, Mirage played 18 and under yesterday, and should give them full credit too, because 18 and under, another new team and full of young players, as their name implies. It was a super competitive match. Went to overtime. Unfortunately, they played an entire second round 3v4, so it kind of was a deflating defeat there at the end of what was otherwise possibly going to be a 3-round series. But another one of those young teams that are looking super good. David Duel, so looking for some nice passes for Fusion, but it was cut off. Vibers thus far doing very well to cut off some of these passes. But right back at them is Swift, and another cutoff there. So the positional play, and that's BK again with another grab for his team. Continuing to just shoulder a lot of this load, it seems like. Both offensively and defensively, doing a great job. David Duel contesting Finn out in the back line, and Finn eventually breaking away to retrieve the disc. And then backing it out for that patient play. We have 2.5 minutes left. It's 12-4. Vibers in good position to win this one, perhaps, especially off of some patient play. Now, that said, a miscommunication will result in a turnover. So the immediate boost coming from both teams, but a faster one coming in from Vibers. They will get there first. Meanwhile, the other stack kind of getting delayed over at the mid. Looks like Finn just didn't get to see the play itself, but I mean, she was there stunned with 3 orange players. So Finn obviously doing some brawls, going for a fader. Couldn't make it, but the rebound still going right back to Vibers, and Finn takes position above Ness. You have Aries position above the backboard. So either way, 2 good shot lanes, and they went for the back and got that. So on the attack, 14-4, the final 2 minutes of round 1. And a very good passing play, just recognition from BK. So even on the assists, BK starting to put some of those up. I would dare say the MVP for Vibers right now. Frogio, the gamer, as Twitch chat had called him a little while ago. Definitely a player with some skills and abilities in the goal especially, but going in for that clear, just trying to get his offense going as they roam in for it. It's going to be tapped in by Swift, and there he is just in time. He did have a defender sailing right by him in close proximity, but got rid of it fast enough, and 6 points for Fusion. 1 minute remaining in round 1.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's game on.
All right, so Finn on the offense. Again, not going to be in a rush necessarily to score at this point for Vibers. They're going to have this one probably sealed down as BK looks for another go at the goal. Just for that pass, perhaps, but underhands it. David Duel, a nice cutoff and send-off on the clear. Very good look there. Maybe can get themselves one more score if they're fast enough, but again, in the back lane, I think I need to start paying more attention to the back line because someone here in the back is doing a very good job holding off these stacks. That said, getting back on that stack this time will be Swift. So he's going to go in for another one off to the backboard play, but couldn't convert the shot. Will sail right back to the top of the ceiling area and slung out of there. So had a little chance there to at least bring it closer. Could not quite do so, but that's all right. And we do have the end of round 1, 14-6 here, favoring Vibers. Now, before I forget, pull the scores up for you really quickly, but try and ping these teams just in case, because they will need to reset the times here. Oh, there they go. They did it themselves, so I didn't even have to remind them. Good. On top of their games tonight. All right, so there you go. We will start round 2 shortly as the teams just make sure the clocks and all that good stuff is reset and in position. But 14-6 first round win for Vibers. You can see some of those highlights there. You know, had some good assists going on that highlight there. Good dive from Malakos. But yeah, Vibers just playing kind of a mix of that patient play mixed with the fast play, just depending on what was given to them. You know, if Fusion was in defensive position, Vibers were content with the slow play. They were really trying to drag out the defense, kind of maneuver around, find the best possible shot opportunities. But then when it came to those breakaway goals, you know, they were very conscious of just getting there fast and making quick, decisive moves. You can see it even on this play. You know, defense all out of balance off of a clear reception, and it turned into that one-on-one goal there on that highlight. So Vibers, very nice job on both ends of the floor there, just controlling the pace very, very well. And yeah, looking back at chat real quick and Twitch, Hi Tony's saying when Autistic Gamer can play, we can or they should rematch. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you got challenge matches. Teams do have the option for a challenge match once a week. So even if you don't actually get the the algorithmic matchup, you can still challenge them most likely. And Emil going through. Oh, look at that shot really quickly. 8 seconds into the first joust of round 2. But yeah, that would be a definite rematch that I'd want to see and would certainly try to cast. Because it was a very entertaining match for that first round especially. We see Newton in there as well as Newton's dad. So welcome, welcome. And oh no, Finn crashing again it seems. That is unfortunate for the Vibers. Finn continuing to maybe have issues. Whoa, oh, and never mind, she's back quickly. Maybe she just hit spectate on accident. I'm assuming that would happen because otherwise, or that's what happened because otherwise that was a very quick rejoin. So maybe just accidentally graze the spectate button on the terminal on the way out of the tunnel. Either or though, Finn is back involved here. So no harm, no foul. Emil going for BK. BK up in that corner. Players trying to dive out that a little bit. Swift now taking it and clearing it. So good job on defense there. And good punch as the very rocketing stacks. That was terrible grammar. But the rocket stacks coming in for their team to get it back here. Aries finds the pass over to Finn. Finn slinging it across to the opposite tunnel as the stack does approach here rather quickly, but nice evasive maneuvers there. And the quick pass from BK. Oh, beautiful. And the redirect from Aries, getting a bit bold and maybe too bold because he does lose the disc off of that, but does get it back at the end. And then Aries receives it one more attempt. A missed shots, rebound going to Alakos. So $1 million move, series of moves in fact. From BK, I believe it was. Goldfish Brain, but nice moves. Not they finished though right there. Couldn't finish a shot either. Finn receiving one more, and then that one guaranteed. So good assists to the backboard, and Finn putting it home. That's 4 points for Vibers. Still plenty of time left in round 2. So Alakos rolling out for Fusion, yet to be on the board in round 2. Uncontested at the moment, this stack just waiting for Alakos to get into the mid lane before contesting too bad. And then Finn playing the back line, so again, you can see that defensive awareness there. With the stack approaching the QB here, the quarterback, forcing a pass, and then you had the backline defense already ready to intercept it. But that said, Frogio gets a beautiful interception, but couldn't convert the shots. Luckily, Swift is there for a rebound, but again, a ding, so tough. That was almost a great series of plays there from Fusion. They still have another chance of that bounce pass, and at last, Swift gets the goal. Ding. So maybe as the players yell out ding, indeed. A couple dings for Fusion, but the persistence still bought them the 2 points. So weren't able to get the 3-pointer that they aimed for initially, but that's okay. 2 points will still put them right back into this game. And that stack, especially if they get this back, will put them right back into this game. Could tie it up, and they're going for a shot out instead off the backboard. Swift. Froggy the last second kind of ditching the disc over to Swift, and now it is a tied game. In fact, Fusion with some back-to-back goals, courtesy of Swift. Very nice. That was a fast launch out there on defense to get that disc. So let's see if they can do it again, shall we? Looks like instead they decide to leave the stack a little bit back, and this might result in a one-on-one play. The defense not able to get back. Oh, BK though, just dumping that one back out. So BK definitely MVP caliber effort tonight. Maybe that one just passing up on what could have been a good opportunity, but you know what? It doesn't matter because Emil is there to convert it eventually, and it's back up by 2 now for Vibers. But yeah, kind of surprised almost that BK opted for the pass back. I suppose part of it too is just coming in from a little bit of a tighter angle. And if you're coming down from here, it is easier to save from the goalie's perspective, just because there's a much less surface area for the offensive player to hit. So that could have been the mentality. Over here, though, trying to force a turnover and do so, but again off the head. That's the second time we've seen players from Vibers as Fragio gets that disc and clears it. Second time we've seen Vibers actually knock the disc off their own teammate's head on what could have been an open goal opportunity. So tough break for them, as right now just contesting each other is David Duel and Finn. So it results in Swift with a shot just off, but look at the rebound from Alakos. Ties it up again. Goal for goal at the moment between these two teams. 6-6 and still 4:45 remaining in round 2. So if this trend continues, we could be looking at that round 3. Always love to see it. Sweet Tooth in the chat saying it's always the worst feeling when you miss an open goal. There was I think it was clipped as well as going for a pass perhaps there. There was a pretty funny moment yesterday in the Legends versus Nova game. Skyla missed an open one from 3 and let out just the most frustrated scream. And right there though, screening the defense right through him, in fact, and able to find the nice angle on the shot. Had just enough room to squeeze it through. So Aries gets it up and in, and it's 8-6 for Vibers once again, up by 2. But yeah, that was a moment. Probably if you search by like most popular clips of the last 24 hours, probably one of the top ones there from Skyla the other day, or yesterday. Just screaming when he missed a shot. So Fragio trying to dole a pass over to Swift. Swift, the shot, had it not been for that island, might have had a chance, but will be taken back by Aries. A nice maneuver there, evading. But look at David Duel with the grabs, the stuns. More stuns yet, really causing problems for that pileup of blue players on Vibers. Goes down to the midline. Contested again, some more pileups forming. Got to be careful here for Fusion because the goal is open, and fortunately for them, they do not pay for it. That could have been very big momentum building for Vibers had they made that. So Alakos just directing traffic a little bit. You can see pointing actually to BK over there on the backboard. So good job there. Alakos kind of captaining his team, directing them where to go, but now losing them. So BK gets the shot. So that was good directing there. Floor General Alakos pointing out the defense where to go. They closed off the first attempt on BK, but then once the disc was knocked loose, both the defenders had actually kind of strayed off of BK, so it left BK open for the pass and then the goal right after. So good plays initially, but yeah, they just kind of got scrambled off of that loose disc. But Swift here, they're down by 4. They still got time to work with, 2 minutes. Certainly more than enough to score twice to come back here. But we need to see some of that good fusion passing that we've seen in recent weeks. Got to have that come through right now. Going for a bounce pass, going to be a tough one on that delivery. So forcing it into the other side here. Maybe BK can find a clear. A narrow one does in fact go through. A little bit low momentum, but they'll still get there. Will be taken back now by Aries. Aries looking for that angle, couldn't get it. Well, it would have been a tough shot fading down towards the bottom. Still retained by BK. Backing this out a little bit and see if they decide to play the clock or just go for a goal here. 1:38. Time is in the favor of Vibers here if they play it patiently. So they will go for that pass. Just taken out by Fragio. And he'll send that clear through again. There's the immediate stack. So still alive here with some time to spare. Maybe taken here. And ding-dunked in by Fragio. So that worked out. Granted, being down by 4 points at the time. Every second definitely precious. So got to be careful with those delays, those Steez delays. Worth noting too, so against Smash Dash last week, Finn also had on Vibers, had a ding dunk in the second round versus Smash Dash. So part of me wonders too if maybe the intention there from Fusion was just to kind of play on that a little bit and give a ding dunk back. But either or. Will be turned over, and good grab by Swift. Very timely. 30 seconds left. We have an opportunity here. One more pass. Oh, the save, though, from Finn. Wow, the heroics. That could have been a tie that looked like a guaranteed goal, but what an amazing save, and a shot just missing barely, but oh my goodness, that would have been an overtime situation there. And the unbelievable timely save right there, BK hiding in the back line to deny another attempt at maybe a game winner. So this defensive positioning here, we got 5 seconds left, but no one in the goal, unfortunately, so forced to throw it into the hands of BK, and that will be the round win, the series win from Vibers off of some very intense and dramatic play. What a second round, and what an ending that was. 10-8, though, ultimately favoring the Vibers here. And talked about, you know, Finn with that ding dunkin' against Smash Dash the other day. Well, you know what? Just a absolute game-winning save, if nothing else, for Vibers here at the end. So proving to be great in the clutch. That was incredible. So very good game. Fusion couldn't quite complete that one and get back with the force that third round we always like to see. But man, was that so close. Woo. So our points didn't get reset, and that's okay. They were partial stats anyway due to the restarts, but yeah. Man, the only regrets that I always have with these ones is like, man, you wish you could have gotten that round 3, because when it gets competitive like that, just you're almost aching to see some more. But unfortunately, that will be the one and only match over here in Europe for the afternoon. Or again, /evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. I gotta think of a more universal way to say that. But either or. We do have some more games later on. Show you the schedule in just a moment. But yeah, props to Vibers converting there, completing the win. Fusion stuck in there very, very well. I mean, 14-6 and then 10-8. Considering Vibers and how they've performed lately, really given some good fights to the likes of Smash Dash and Phantoms. I mean, for Fusion, that's still a success in itself. But Vibers, again, they continue to find their chemistry, find their good vibes, and they're rolling on along here for their first win of Week 8. So congrats to them. And yeah, I'll pull up the schedule for you in any case, because again, we have a few matches later on today, including one challenge. As you can see, we have Instinct versus Flare. That's going to start in about 5 hours from now, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard, 8 p.m. Central. We have Skull Crusaders and Nebula 15 minutes after that. And then 15 minutes after that, we've got There Is No Team versus Guinness, so all clumped up together there. Hopefully we should be able to stream at least one, maybe 2 of them. I'm not sure if we have the cameraman capacity today or not to stream all of them. I mean, we'll see. Actually, no, because only one should overlap, so no, we might be okay. But we'll definitely try our best here. Gonna be some entertaining matches, and we'll see what we can do. I would say tentatively, just based on the fact that we have like one match 30 minutes apart. I'll be doing Instinct and Flare. Definitely, and that would transition right into There Is No Team and Guinness. So basically, we'll get those 2 matches definitely streamed. Skull Crusaders and Nebula, I very much hope we can get streamed, because both of these teams are fun to follow. I mentioned, Skull Crusaders. They've been one of the more interesting teams, just given their recent rise. Because really, they got off to a very slow start in the early season, and yet after adding some new players and kind of solidifying their roster. They've been really catching fire, so I'm kind of curious to see where Skull Crusaders peaks. Nebula is going to be a very good test for them. But yeah, I'm just curious to see kind of where Skull Crusaders finally starts to slow down a little bit. And it's like, okay, where are they going to fall here in the rankings? Because so far they're on a definite climb, but I don't know where the ceiling is for them in this season. Yet to be determined. But yes, with that all said and done, that's your 3 matches for the remainder of the day, and that was the conclusion of your first and only European match of the day. It was a fun one to watch. Thank you everyone from tuning in. Well, yep, my language is just struggling today. But thank you everyone on Twitch for tuning in. A lot of chatter, a lot of interaction, a little bit of weirdness. Hi, Tony. But yes, it was a fun watch, and thanks for bearing with all the tech issues and things like that as well. So until later tonight, everyone, be safe, be healthy, wash your hands, social distance, all that good stuff, and we'll see you again real soon. Have a good afternoon and evening. Bye.